Well, Frank, the best time of the year is back. I told Jamal during the show, you know, like people have Christmas and the holidays. I don't like the holidays. This is what I love. This is the time of year that I love. It's the start of the college football season. Campus Corner is back each week. We'll be previewing the upcoming schedule on Saturday for Florida, Florida State, and Georgia. First, though, Frank, how excited are you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm real excited. Alessandra, it's a college football season like none other, like none we've ever had before. There's 12 teams in the playoff now. We've never had that before. Who knows who's in what conference anymore? Texas and Oklahoma are in the SEC. SMU and Cal and Stanford are in the ACC. USC and UCLA and Washington and Oregon are in the or the Big Ten. I can't even say it. It is crazy how many different changes there are this year. So it's a I'm always excited about college football season, but it's a season like none we've ever experienced ever in our lives.
Yeah, it's going to take some time to get used to saying Texas and Oklahoma are in the SEC. But first, let's talk about the AP poll. The preseason rankings came out. Georgia being #1, Florida State #10, and Florida, not too surprising, not ranked. Do you think that Georgia deserves that #1 spot? Do you think they're the best team in the nation?
Without a doubt. I think Georgia's the best team. I think they're going to win the whole thing. That doesn't mean undefeated. Remember now, the schedules are so much different with all this conference change. Florida's got the toughest schedule in the country. Nobody debates that. But, boy, Georgia's is tough, too. Georgia has a really tough schedule. I could see Georgia going 10-2 when a bunch of other teams go 11-1 or even 12-0. And Georgia still take them all out in the playoffs. I think Georgia's the best team in the country. I think they're going to win the national title. But I don't know that they run the table because it's a really, really tough schedule. But they're the best team, and they should be #1.
Okay, well, week 0 is this week, and Florida State is going to kick off the college football season over in Ireland against Georgia Tech. Very different way to start the season for them. You know, ACC matchup, what do you like about this team? Also, it seems like there's some history with Georgia Tech's coach being, you know, former FSU guy.
Well, there's some interesting things here. #1, I think FSU's team is really good. Mike Norvell said this week it's the most athletic, physical, fast team he's had, and that's saying something because they were 13-0 a year ago. So it's a really good football team, and I think they're going to be loaded. DJ Uiagalelei, the quarterback's got to play well. He's been up and down as a collegian, both at Clemson and at Oregon State. This is his 3rd stop. I think he's good. I'm not sure he's great, but I love their team. But keep an eye on this game. This will not be an easy game for the Noles. Georgia Tech won 4 of its last 6 games last year. The 2 losses were Georgia and Clemson. Haynes King, the quarterback, is back. He's a veteran guy, a former Texas A&M player. So Georgia Tech's good. Georgia Tech's better than they've been in a lot of years. I think Florida State's going to win the game, but I don't think it's an easy game. I think it's a 3rd quarter, maybe even early 4th quarter game. The Noles will win, but it's not going to be easy in Dublin.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Let's talk about Florida. We'll stay in state. The Gators, Graham Mertz probably will come back. He's going to be the starting quarterback, but they do have a really good backup quarterback in DJ Lagway. But everyone keeps talking about it. It's no surprise that Billy Napier is going to have a good season to be able to keep his job.
Here's the bottom line. Florida's got a good team, probably a better team than they've had in a while, probably a better team than everybody thinks they have. The problem is the schedule is brutal. I said it a minute ago. It's as hard a schedule as anybody in the country maybe has ever played. It's really a hard schedule. So Billy Napier needs to win X amount of games to keep his job. I think that number is 6 or 7. He's got a good enough team to win 8 or 9. He's got a tough enough schedule where he could only win 5. That's the intrigue, Alessandra. It's a good team. He's got a really good quarterback in Graham Mertz. It's by far the best team he's had at Florida, but the schedule is so hard. Can he get to that 6, 7, 8 win season that secures his job? I've been saying this. I'll say it again. If Billy Napier makes it through, look out. I think he's the right guy. He's a great recruiter. He's a great program builder, but he's got to win so many before they run it, or they'll run him off.
And they have a tough, you know, week 1 they have against Miami next week. So it's like you don't really have any easy opponent to get you into the season right off the bat. It's an in-state rivalry. Finally, let's wrap up with Georgia. Carson Beck, our local guy, back at the starting position for the Bulldogs. Not only do I think that he is really in there for the Heisman talks, probably going to be a finalist at the end of the season, but I think Georgia is. And I'm saying this as an Alabama grad. I think Georgia's going to win a national championship this season.
I do, too. I think Georgia's the team to beat. I think they're going to win the national title. Carson Beck, I was with Carson in Dallas at the SEC Media Days. Alessandra, he's so poised. He's so ready for this. He's unflappable. He waited his turn. Nobody waits anymore. If I'm not starting, then I'm departing. That's what they all say. They all leave and transfer and go play somewhere else. That's why all the quarterbacks are transfers. Not this guy. Carson waited his turn, and now he's reaping the benefits of that. A calm, mature, really good kid, too. A great player, too. I think he's going to be the first pick in the draft, and I think he's going to be in the Heisman race. I hope he has enough stats. Georgia doesn't throw it as much as some of the Big 12 teams and whatnot, but I think he's going to be in the Heisman race. As you said, I think he's going to be the #1 pick in the draft, and I think they're going to win the whole thing.
You know what game's coming up just a couple weeks away is Georgia and Alabama. I'm so excited for that game. I feel like that's one of the biggest games for the whole college football schedule.
That's how hard their schedule is. They play Oklahoma too. I mean, that's how hard. Once you already have a hard schedule like Florida and Georgia and the SEC teams do, and then you add those two behemoths, it's going to be a great year in college football.
Yeah, especially the Bulldogs' road schedule is just as tough. I mean,
really
yeah,
hard.
they have, but Kirby Smart will do it. You know what I love about Kirby Smart, though? Earlier this week, he was talking about his team. He says, we're not ready yet. He says, I don't think we have the depth. You're the number one team, number one team in the nation.
He got that from Vince Dooley, his predecessor, one of his predecessors as a Georgia football coach. Always poor mouth. Kirby's a terrific coach.
Frank, thank you so much. And that's your Look at Campus Corner.